What is happening, everybody? Welcome back to the Segment Podcast. Joey and I are back in the saddle for 2024. This is episode 138, 2024. I can't believe it.
This is episode 1 of 2024.
Yeah, this is cool. I could see there's a lot of people in the audience already. What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? We got well, before I head out to the Whole Shot Award, I just wanted to say, Joey, your studio's looking mighty fantastic, brother.
Yeah, they gave me the keys to the place tonight, so I've got it all
There's
myself.
nobody. Did you take Ben Vay's bike out for a quick spin?
The
Joey
seat's a little
Yates,
bad, but yeah, I did a lap.
For the folks on Spotify, Joey Yates is in the YT Mill San Clemente, and right behind him is Ben Vay's bike, and he may or may not have taken it for a spin. He's got the keys of the kingdom in there.
It's tough getting the bikes down from the upper level down the staircase and making that right hand. You got to do like a nose manual and then whip the tire around to get it down the stairs. But yeah.
Do you open up both glass doors to go straight out the front, or are you only opening up one of the doors to get out there?
Oh no, 2, because by the time I get down, I'm moving, so I need to just blow right out. Yeah.
Beers on tap. Joey Yates living the life. That's the studio we need to broadcast from. I love it. What's up, Mountain Bike Q&A? Johnny Yu out of Miami, Florida is saying, love the new background. Yes, no, that's for real. He's really there. He's really right, Joey?
Yeah. I like this one. Right. I keep skipping over it.
Spokesman Steve says Joey's just milling around. Yes. I love it. Dude, what's happening, Steve? In fact, tune in next week. We're going to have Steve, Mr. Spokesman, do an unboxing and a cool giveaway on the show as we go live. So that'll be our first unboxing.
He's doing the how long can you leave a decoy in the box challenge.
That's impressive. That's really impressive. I love the fact that he's doing that. And then big shout out to Neil, Trail Monster out of Arizona, with a $2 donation to the show already. He says, let's get this party started. Hi, all MTB friends. It's been a good week of podcasts this week. We've had Biker on. Biker went live with Mia DePaula of Women's MTB Network. That was cool. That was just yesterday. And then we had Johnny Yu. He had the SoCal MTB family on. Those kids were hilarious. So I think it was Darren. Darren was just cracking me up. It was so good. In tonight's episode, we thought it'd be great to start off the year. Everybody makes these resolutions. I shouldn't say everybody. Not everybody makes a resolution, but we're a little bit more health conscious and health minded at the front end of the year because it's a fresh year. We can do something. We can make changes, make moves. Like on Biker's podcast, the pedal back or the back pedal show. He's there trying to lose some weight. So Joey and I, we looked at our community. We reached out, and I actually met this towering behemoth of an athlete who is a pro MMA fighter. I met him at one of the Christmas parties, and he fights for a league called LFA. It's Legacy Fighting Alliance, I believe. Legacy Fighters Alliance. The dude is bad to the bone, and some of the highlight reels that I've seen of him are just insane. I believe he's heavyweight. We'll have him on here in a second. It's Conan Ayala, and he will be joining us here in a minute. But what's cool about him is not only is he an MMA pro fighter, he's a nutritionist. And that is where we are going to be able to glean some things like electrolytes, hydration, what supplements should we be thinking about before we hop on the trails. And Conan has all that information. He actually has all the schooling for it. So not only a badass in the ring, but a badass in nutrition. So can't wait to have Conan on here in a little bit. It's going to be awesome. But Joey, let's see who is the Whole Shot winner of tonight, shall we?
Yes. Trail Monster just missed it with the.
No, did he really?
Yeah, just missed it with the donation. But we have one of the greats tonight.
Whole Shot Award winner. Congratulations to Johnny Yu, Mountain Bike Q&A with a Whole Shot. Again, folks, for the folks that are kind of new to the show, the Whole Shot Award is the first person to make a comment on the show live at 6:30 on the dot. Were there any other people at the 6:30 corner? I was coming in. Trail Pimp was right there.
6:30.
MTB TNA spokesman.
He got 2 in on 6:30.
Damn, Pimpin' Monsters. Mountain Bike Q&A.
I mean, look at all the 6:30s. They're coming in.
Holy cow. Holy cow. Dang, that's a lot of people flying into that first corner. Congratulations again to Johnny Yu. And I did see Mountain Bike TNA was up in there in 6:30. So don't let her live it down there, Johnny. You won it tonight. What did MTB TNA say? She said something at 6:30. What'd she say? She said, whole shot. Shall we? I think we need to redefine the whole shot again for Miss Lauren out of Miami. Lauren, the whole shot is when all the bikes go out of the gate. It's the first one to a designated point is the whole shot winner. I think, but I do appreciate what Lauren was thinking there. Oh man, Joey, now you had a great day today. You got to ride with a Hall of Famer, I believe, this morning. Was it this morning that you got to go out with the Hall of Famer?
Yeah, I was out at Vail with a solid crew today. Yeah. Fast-paced, very fast-paced crew today.
Really? Everybody
was on E, rolling the decoys mainly, and yeah, it was a fast-paced today.
That is awesome. Are you allowed to say who was in this squad?
Yeah, it was a solid squad. I'm not going to remember all the names. We had Taka. I don't know if people know Taka, but he's a pro motorcycle, like the jump guys.
Yeah. Oh, the freestyle guys.
Yep. Freestyle moto. Yeah, he's actually doing a performance at the Supercross this weekend. If anybody wants to get out there and check that out. We had Steve Caballero was out there.
The man.
We had was it Lawrence? What was Lawrence?
Jet Lawrence?
Yes. Yeah.
Jet Lawrence. Wow.
No, not Jet Lawrence. No. Man, I'm drawing a blank right now. You caught me off guard.
Oh, it's okay, Joey. There
was like 9 of us out there, but it was just a solid, fun, fast-paced crew. I ended with 1 bar and it probably died in the parking lot.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. That's amazing. That's good. That's some good mileage. And I saw some of the highlight reels already coming in. Tons of airtime you guys were catching today out there at Velocity. They're doing so many things out there, which is cool.
So many new trails. Wow. So many trails in the bushes. I'll show you all kinds of new stuff we rode today.
Love it. Yeah. Love it. I saw Caballero catching some air. And I know that Cab he's filming a movie, which I saw him post. So I think it's okay to talk about.
Yes.
But is this a documentary of Steve Caballero, or is he part of?
It's the life of Steve Caballero.
I love that.
Yeah. That's and cool. the guy that was, or he's on a podcast tonight with one of the guys, I believe, and he rode with us today. It was Randy Lawrence.
Randy Lawrence.
Yeah.
Shout out to Randy Lawrence. Yeah. Damn. That is awesome.
And
how do you
Sean
feel?
From the mill. Do you know Sean at the mill?
I bet I do. I don't know why.
He's kind of backstage a little bit, but yeah, he rode with us also.
Nice. Cool. That's an epic squad. I wish I could have got out there today. Dang it. And
there's the pro skater Hercules because it's hard to say his name, so we're allowed to call him Hercules. But he's from Brazil. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Epic squad. It's so cool to see the cross-functional folks from different sports going into MTB, which is very cool. And you get these athletes out there, and you just see how quickly they progress. It's amazing. I love it.
Instantly progress, and it's such a good workout. And these athletes are in the field with adrenaline all the time, and it's just one of those things that they need to keep up. So it's good to see them pushing themselves out there.
No feature goes unturned when you're with a squad like that. Everything's going to get looked at and done.
Yes.
Which is crazy.
There was a quick look, and then they did it. There was no thinking.
Yeah.
We got all this stuff out here, no problem.
Dang, I love that mindset. And everybody went home fine, which is always good.
Yeah.
And go ahead, Joey.
Yeah, nobody went down today, so solid crew.
Solid crew. I love that. MTB TNA saying, wait, whole shot has an actual MTB definition? Who knew?
That was funny on their podcast when they were talking about it.
Yeah, they're like, that sounds dirty, I think. I don't know what that is.
It was Mia's podcast where they brought it up and they were like, yeah, that sounds dirty. I'm not sure I like that.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, speaking of athletes, speaking of getting out there and riding and having a good time, let's bring out our guest tonight so we can get into his story, a little bit about him being an athlete, and then let's get into nutrition. And as always, folks that are in the chat, please feel free to ask questions because it's our time to learn a little bit from the one, the only Conan Ayala.
What's up, guys?
What's up, brother? Good, dude. Good to see you, man.
You too.
So, brother, I'm just guessing because when I met you at the Christmas party, you're like this towering monster of an athlete. You are in the heavyweight division, correct?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Yeah. What's the tape on that?
Oh, I was like 265 pounds, just, lean meat.
and 6 something, 6'2"?
6'4".
6'4". Good Lord. And what's the reach? What's your reach?
My reach is 80 inches.
Jeez, bro. We were looking at some of the highlight reels on you. There was one where you have a guy in the corner, or maybe the guy's got you in the corner, and then you spun out of it. I think you threw a knee, and the bar just went crazy.
I think crazy. That was a fight. Was it, if I'm not mistaken, it was an LFA fight for against Mitchell Sipe.
Yes.
I just threw a spinning elbow, or threw like an elbow, and then chased him down with the flying knee and caught him in the top of the head.
That's it. The bar went nuts. I thought I was watching like a DJ for a second at a big European party. What's your current record, and are you still in the LFA as we speak today?
Technically, I'm actually a free agent. My record is 4-1 as a pro. I did go undefeated, 10-0 as an amateur. My last fight was my first loss ever, and actually not just in MMA, but I used to be a collegiate athlete. I used to wrestle in college, and I got a taste of humble pie. My last fight, I actually would say I did pretty well. I dominated pretty much 99% of the fight. Just my opponent caught me with the check hook, broke my nose, and I couldn't breathe. So eventually just kind of winded and gassed out, and ended up losing the very end of the fight.
Oh man, dang! And that was your first loss.
Yes, sir.
With your wins and with your, I'm watching some of the ways you train. There's a lot of explosion, a lot of explosive energy coming from you. Is a lot of your wins via knockout?
Yeah, actually, I would say besides one fight, all my fights have been first round knockouts. Actually.
Good God, dude. Good God. And guys, ladies and gentlemen, when you meet this guy, he is the nicest, sweetest dude. I was trying to get some supplements from Pure Nutrition that day, and you were helping me out. And my card wasn't working for some reason. You were the most patient dude. I'm like, this guy's going to throw me over his shoulder and toss me over the fence in a second. But
no, it's I've always been a people person, man. I'm just a normal person in the world, just trying to, be a good human.
Nice. I love that, man. I love that. And I feel like with a lot of fighters or people that are skilled and trained, I feel like a lot of folks are just so nice in person because there's really nothing to prove when you're out in public. You can defend yourself, you're good. And then the effort and the energy that you put into the training, it's just like, man, you just put it all there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then once that cage closes, I mean, Joey, do you have a couple clips there? There's some pretty bloodied opponents there. Look pretty disheveled. But as we get into that story of MMA, like how did you get into that sport, and how did you know that that's what you wanted to do?
Yeah, good question. I would have to say I've been a fan of the sport since I was a little kid. So I'm a youngest of six. My oldest brother was actually really into the MMA world. So before even UFC was a thing, there was back in Japan a league called Pride, and it was pretty much all you could hit opponents in the ground. It was all free range.
Yeah.
And my brother used to play the DVDs because this is before smart TVs. So we played the VHS DVDs, and I just loved it, man. I used to watch the Bruce Lee movies and all the action movies with like Jason Statham and stuff like that. And I was like, man, I just want to be a fighter. And watching those fights from Pride and then eventually UFC, I just loved it. And I just told myself I want to be a professional fighter. So got into martial arts, did Taekwondo. I was actually in the Junior Olympic team for the U.S. national team.
Oh, wow.
And I did Taekwondo from about maybe 7, 8 years old all the way through 16, 17.
Dang.
And then I got into wrestling at about middle school. And I wrestled, as I mentioned earlier, I wrestled collegiately at Cal Baptist University. So we're Division II. And actually now they're Division I. But talented school, good coaches. And yeah, I would say I just love the sport. I like to say I'm a true martial artist and do have the utmost respect against my opponent. And yeah, I just love it.
That's cool, man. So were you ATA or is ATF? Which one goes to the Olympics? Either one?
It's ATA or ITA.
ITA. Okay. Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mr. Trail Pimp right here out of Lake Tahoe is saying ATA Taekwondo is the real deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So have you been able to incorporate some of the Taekwondo techniques in your fights? I know it's harder because like you're throwing leg kicks and stuff like that, and like all the things that we learned in ATA, like spinning hook kicks, wheel kicks, side kicks, front kicks. You've been able to use a lot of that from.
I incorporate a lot in my training, but most of my fights just end so fast where I can't really unlock everything yet.
That's true. That's true.
I do a lot of leg kicks. I've thrown actually a jump spin side kick and I landed it, and that's in my opponent back, and that kind of opened up my opponent to respect my power. So definitely, I would love to one day be able to showcase more of that skill.
Dang. Some of those knockouts when I see them are just insane. Like the spin wheel kick. The wheel kick has so much power.
Oh, yeah.
It's insane. And then just the standard side kick, you get hit with that, even if it's through your arm, it's like what happened to my breath? And is there a hole in my rib? Yeah. It's cool that you have that background and then you married that with wrestling. So when you got into the MMA world, did you feel that the skill that you needed was like a good stand-up coach, like a good boxing coach then at that point?
Yeah, I think I didn't really get into like the full combination of mixed martial arts, like training to actually fight until about 2011, 2012. I got into kickboxing, Muay Thai, and boxing, and that kind of opened it up to let me know like where I would stand. I actually got to spar against some high-end fighters, and I was actually able to hold my own without really knowing too much on how to mix everything together. I used a lot of my Taekwondo, and it really threw people off because, again, I am a big guy, and it's very unorthodox for me to move as fast as I do. If you look at my fights, a lot of people feel like my videos are like fast forward, and honestly, I just move that fast.
Yeah,
I do try to be light on my feet, so.
Yeah, that is cool. That is a great skill that you get from ATA for sure, from Taekwondo. That's cool. And then you got the wrestling in there. And then you had a question here from Miami, Florida, mountain bike Q&A. Johnny was asking, are you a big jiu-jitsu guy or just more of a heavy hitter or more of a hitter? Sorry.
Honestly, I'm a mix of wherever the fight goes. There's 3 words that I always repeat in my head, and it's focus, adjust, dominate. So wherever the fight goes, I'm just going to make sure I'm the dominant one in that scenario or situation in the fight. But I'm really fond of jiu-jitsu, actually. Shout out to my gym, Carlson Gracie. I I love jiu-jitsu a lot. I do a lot of nogi, and thanks to my wrestling, I actually have a pretty good foundation.
Man, I could imagine that. Trying to take you down would be hard as it is. That's 6'6", 260 something all muscle. Joey says he wants to try.
No, I'm completely the opposite. When I'm in the ring, I want to turn and run. Like, you want to dominate, I just want to get out of there.
I will be the guy in your corner, like, go Conan. Okay, I'm gonna go sit back down now. So one of the things that we share as athletes is performance, and a lot of us as mountain bikers, when we're out there, it really depends on our days. Sometimes we get out there, and sometimes it's like that mindset of like, I feel like today's the day that I'm going to get hurt. It's so weird. Or you're on it and like you're just one with the bike, and you feel like there is no feature that's going to defeat you that day. Everything feels easy and calm. And then when we're off the bike, there's a certain level of like trying to heal up and get ready, So you have your like performance, and then you have your recovery. And I feel like that's something we definitely share within the sports. And for you, a lot of your posts I saw were training posts, and I know you have to really train hard. But when it comes to nutrition, and as athletes shared, what are some of the things that you've learned, and through your studies in nutrition, what have you learned that really helps benefit you for performance and recovery?
I think you hit it right on the nail. Recovery is everything. Getting enough sleep, eating the right micro and macronutrients is really important, and hydration is pretty much everything. You said earlier about like, oh man, I feel like I might get hurt today. Did you hydrate properly? That's one thing I talk to a lot of athletes that I do the nutrition program or protocols, and hydration is probably the key factor that a lot of individuals don't take in consideration. It's not just water; it's enough trace minerals, electrolytes, even sometimes specifically like when you guys go on a long ride. Did you get some good enough carbs? Did you get some sugars in you? If you didn't get enough time to eat, timing your food schedule it's important. All those are really key factors for sure.
Yeah, I feel like too, as mountain bikers, majority of us just we get the time to go and we just go. And sometimes we'll throw some water in our water bottle, and we have a cold beer waiting for us at the car afterwards.
Yeah.
So as far as nutrition wise, it may not be the best. It's a lot of fun, but I mean, if we can actually take ourselves to the next level, that would be very cool. Spokesman out of Colorado is asking, what impact does diet and nutrition have on an athlete's state of mind, and how can nutrition influence effective attitude when performing?
That's actually a really good question. So I would say, how does it impact an athlete's state of mind? Well, let's say this, right? Let's say we're in a caloric deficit. We're not eating enough calories based on the performance of the day. Like I mentioned earlier, timing your meals. Were you able to get enough carbohydrates, protein, and fiber in your system to actually perform well during your training? If you do that and you time it properly, you will have optimal recovery and active recovery during your training session or performance. On top of that too, state of mind, right? Maybe potentially, you guys are going through trails, and I'm assuming going down big old mountains and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You guys talk about going on the cage. I don't know if I could do going down a mountain, like I'm a big guy. I probably would break so many bones. But yeah, what if you have too much cortisol and you don't know how to control cortisol? Cortisol is our stress hormone, right? So if it's too much stress, and you didn't get enough to eat, it could really damage your thyroid. It could damage how you respond to what's called your parasympathetic system, and those all can really affect it. So the other portion of the question was, how can nutrition well, so let's say people call it hangry, or you feel foggy minded, if you didn't get enough to eat, especially let's say you missed breakfast, you just got off a 8-9 hour shift, and you guys want to go ride. Well, maybe you might not be in the right state of mind. So it is important to, at least if you're not eating and you don't want to go on a ride, it's like, hey, let's just go. Well, let's maybe get like something sugary in your system, so like that your glycogen storage is up and you have some good energy for the meanwhile, or something you could sip on during the ride. So if you have a water bottle, I would toss in some pink Himalayan salt in there or some sea salt. Maybe mix water and Gatorade together. That's the only time where I tell my athletes, hey, it's okay to have some sugar here and there if it's needed.
Yeah. Is the importance of the sugar is just to help with the glycogen storage? Like you're either burning that sugar first before you get to your glycogen storage, like if you didn't have an adequate diet before your performance, so to speak, before you go out and ride.
Yeah. So I would say for that, if you don't have enough in your storage, again, like maybe you're fasted or just didn't really have much to eat, that sugar would probably be in your help with that glycogen storage and like your blood sugars, and like that you don't deplete yourself as fast because you go through your glycogen storage in minutes. You could go through it really fast, depending on the activity that you're doing. Which, if you're riding a bike, you're expending a lot of calories really fast.
Yeah. Interesting. And then you mentioned the salt. What is like the importance of pouring a little bit of like Himalayan sea salt in your water or mixing it with Gatorade? Because sometimes some of us do have electrolytes when we can get our hands on it, but I don't know, Joey, do you think it's like a normal thought process to do that before we go out?
Yeah, I used to always ride with it, and it definitely helps. I just haven't been doing that lately. But I'm looking into the liquid IV right now because I believe it has a good amount of salt in it.
Okay. Yeah.
So liquid IV wouldn't be a bad choice. It does also depend on our weight and size for sure. Some of us need more than others also too, depending on the activity, obviously. So if you're going on a ride, stuff like that, depending on how long the ride is, I guess a good question is how long is like an average ride typically?
It really depends, but generally they're definitely more than an hour. I think that we tell our wives, well, when I was married, I would say, I'll be back in about an hour or two. And usually it's 2 to 3 easy, sometimes even 4. So they're long durations of activity. And they're anything from climbing up a mountain to with now the invention of e-bikes, it's like going up and down a lot. But now instead of being completely anaerobic on the climb, you're more at a lower heart rate, steady lower heart rate for a longer period of time. So you get your aerobic and anaerobic in it as well.
That's good. That's great. Well, if that's the case, in my opinion, if you know you're going to go on a ride, I would definitely have your electrolytes a lot earlier. I'd say about 2 hours prior to a ride.
Oh,
So like that, because what it's going to do, it's going to volumize our cells, and it's going to allow to actually hydrate your muscles, right? So no cramping and avoiding injury. So
interesting.
yeah, it's really important, and it does actually help regulate body temperature. So let's say it's a hot day out there, definitely want to time that properly. And then on top of that too, it does help enhance cognitive function. So I know the gentleman earlier asked about, how does it affect mental health or your thought process or mood, and that definitely can. Proper hydration can help with actually the cognition. So.
Wow. 2 hours before. I never even thought of that. I just thought having it with me, but that makes sense. You got to volumize the cells. You got to get everything prepared before you start to deplete, right? So that's kind of the time frame, the optimal time frame to do it.
Give or take, and based on studies, if you could do it earlier, no problem. I would just say, would it help having it during your training instead of not having it at all? Yes, it probably would help. But I think, again, like how we talked about structuring our protocol with meals, if you could do it at least 2 hours prior, I'd say it'd be good for you guys or for anyone.
Wow, I love that. Joey, did you think that? I heard you say, "Wow." What was that?
Yeah, no, that's eye opening. Yeah, to get that in before, and then just probably have water on the ride. But yeah, that's important.
Yeah, it makes sense. I talked to some of these athletes that are XC racers, and it's a lot of energy spent. They're doing a lot of laps out there. And I think leading into their race, at least one of the kids down the street, he'll start hydrating 2 weeks before the race, like really taking in a lot of hydration just to make sure he's optimal. I never thought of that. Uncaged MTB is up here. He says, I had a cup of coffee before yesterday's ride.
That was it.
That was it. You went fasted. Oh, man.
An hour and 40 minutes and like 2,000 feet of climbing, and a cup of coffee. That did it for me.
How did you feel? Did you feel okay afterwards?
I was starving.
Yeah. Yeah.
We hit the taco truck on the way home. But I could have definitely I could have made some better choices today. That's for sure.
Mountain Bike Q&A is asking, Conan, what do you stay completely away from and don't allow in your diet? Is there something that is a no-go for you? And I'm assuming this is going to be if you're preparing for something.
Yeah, I would say for sure. I would definitely say probably like alcohol. Um, for those that maybe like smoke, definitely don't. I wouldn't smoke. If you're like obviously leading into a race or any type of like physically demanding sport. Um, let's see. Um, I personally watch out for dehydration, but in sense of like food wise, that's on a person to person. Some individuals do well with high carb meals. Some individuals can maybe gain too much weight off of that. It's a trial and error for sure. But I would say, I mean, just out of the ordinary stuff, like no trans fats, right? Like no fried food.
Mm,
Um, but outside of that, I mean, as long as you have a balanced diet, it should be fine.
yeah.
I like doing a more like I'm a numbers guy, so um, what I usually do for my athletes at least is I figure out what's called their total daily energy expenditure, your TDEE, and that is pretty much your physical activity and your basal metabolic rate, which is your metabolism. I do an equation to figure out exactly how much calories they need to have based on their activity level.
Mm,
From there, I kind of give them range. If they want to count their macronutrients, which is like weighing out your food, it's very tedious. But again, it depends on the individual. Most individuals are not going to go out that hard unless like they're like bodybuilders or just they're freaks.
yeah.
But overall, just I would avoid like alcohol. I would avoid smoking. I would avoid fried food.
Got it. And what are the detriments to those things if you did it before a ride? Like if you had fried food the night before, maybe alcohol before or smoking, what would be the detriments there?
Well, smoking necessarily, it would be the fact that it could affect your sleep pattern. It could affect potentially your lungs and your oxygen saturation. Potentially, it's not on every single individual. Alcohol as a whole, I mean, it's a diuretic. It could dehydrate you pretty bad. So
Mm,
most
yeah, I can see
individuals
that.
who got like the hangover effect,
Yes.
typically they're dehydrated. And it's very toxic. I mean, don't get me wrong. I drink, it's quality of life, and I don't drink often, more so for celebration purposes or maybe I haven't seen a buddy in a long time, have a glass of whiskey. But all in all, if you are prepping for, let's say, an event or on a race, I would just say, save yourself another day, wait till after the ride maybe, and then enjoy yourself and celebrate.
That's
But
true.
it will dehydrate you, and it can affect your performance.
Got it. That makes sense too, because I've heard, or maybe I've read, I don't even know these days, but I think that the alcohol, it takes like 72 hours to metabolize all of that out of your body. Does that sound right?
Yes. So, yeah, it sounds right about right. It goes through our bloodstream, right? It's everywhere. It goes through your liver, your kidneys, your gut lining, goes through your heart, everything. That's
Damn.
why sometimes for individuals who are alcoholics or drink a lot or smoke and drink can have hypertension, have a high blood pressure, stuff like that.
Got, got it. Man, that wreaks havoc. Yeah, so maybe save that for celebration after or post ride. A lot of times in our mountain bike community, we get that part right. We put the cold beer at the
Yeah,
end of the ride,
you
and
earned
so
it.
yeah, exactly. That does feel good. Got another question here.
Okay.
Spokesman is saying calories versus carbs. What's the difference, and what are good examples of application of both? Ooh,
So
good question.
actually, carb carbs are a form of calories. So technically, if you're weighing out a carb, which is a macronutrient, for every gram of carb, it should be 4 calories. So, and what was the second portion? What's the difference? Or I guess
Yeah.
combination of both. So yeah, so I mean, pretty much, it's important. Let's say, for instance, you're an athlete. You're trying to have a suffice amount of carbs for, let's say, performance recovery, because carbs they do shuttle nutrients in our bodies. So it is important to have carbs. So I guess, how do you apply it? It depends on the performance. Like I mentioned earlier, like going on a ride, it's probably nice to have a pretty, again, like 2-hour window prior to the ride or race. Let's have a good heavy carb meal. You're going to definitely need it. It's going to be a good source of energy.
Got it. Beforehand.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
okay.
sir.
And then Conan, during the ride, sometimes I see people, they'll if it's a longer ride, they'll take like gummy bears or gummy worms, things like that, some kind of source of quick glucose.
Yeah, some simple sugars. Those will be in your system in less than 5 minutes. You will feel instantly relief in a sense, like a pre-workout in a sense, or a second. It'll give you a second win for sure, and it'll bring you back to life, especially if you're potentially dehydrating yourself or gone through your glycogen storage, right? So it's pretty important to have a certain amount of carbs in your system. So if you have enough early on, like I mentioned, you might not really need that potentially, but it's good to prepare and have it on you.
Yeah, in case you feel yourself bonking or you get that.
Right. So we can just put a nerd rope on our handlebars and then just keep looking at
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just don't eat the string though. The string part, Joey. But no, that's good. And you said that gets in the system. Those simple sugars get in quick, like less than 5 minutes.
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be perfect for the top of a mountain. After you've climbed all the way to the top, you feel like that weird feeling, like that bonking feeling where you get kind of shaky and all of a sudden you start sweating. I hate that feeling. That's the worst feeling ever. I feel that must be like a sense of like low blood sugar or something. Something's going on there.
Yes.
Yeah. And 5 minutes later, couple gummy bears, folks, gummy bears, different gummy. Yeah, there you go. Trail Pivot said, how about pot gummies? He says, I don't know. Is there sugar in the pot gummies? There has to be. There's
I'm
probably
sure.
sugar and THC and everything. I mean, the way down, you might see some pretty cool stuff. So it's possible. But that is good. MTB OG Mayfer says, I use walnuts for riding. There you go. Talk to us a little bit about
some good fats right there. Fats will help. They'll slowly digest in your system. So if it's a long ride, it'll definitely be more sustainable. It helps out with your hormones, and also it's probably be more satiating. For that, going back on calories, 1 gram of fat is about 9 calories. So definitely, can last longer in your system than sugar or carbs. But I think they're both essential.
Got it. And when I used to wear this heart rate monitor on me, it was called the MyZone. Thank you, gosh. I don't know why I would forget it. I was wearing a MyZone, and pretty much every ride for about an hour was almost 1,000 calories. We'd go out there and just burn 1,000 calories. It never felt like it because you're having fun and everything else. Right. But that kind of gives you an idea of like what we're burning and what we're pulling. It's a lot of leg too, a lot of back, pulling up on the bike, staying above the saddle, staying above the bike in that squatted position. So I feel like that's why this comment rings a bell. MTBT says, well, that is why I like to mix my Gatorade with my vodka. Replenish while I deplete. I'm a health nut. What can I say?
I love it.
Lauren's the best, man. I love that. So, Conan, if we are, say we wake up in the morning and we don't have, like we didn't wake up 2 hours prior to the ride. We just kind of wake up when we're out there going. As founder of Pure Nutrition, what are some things that we can consider looking at to start taking with us or taking just beforehand? Is there anything that would benefit us that could help us?
Yeah. So, I mean, again, like we can do like supplement wise, I guess, or food on the go, like some fruit wouldn't be bad to eat on the way. Maybe some powdered carbs, something that's going to be in your system fast, and also have complex carbs in there. So those are like slower digestive carbs. So like that, you have a mix of both. There's definitely powders out there that will have both that you can take during your rides. One of the most popular ones or brands is called Carbolin. And a lot of high endurance athletes do use that kind of powdered carbs, and powerlifters too. And I mean, a lot of athletes. Definitely that. I would say if I was going to go to a ride and let's say it's 6 a.m., 5 a.m., just going, I don't have time to eat. Definitely make sure that at least the night before we hydrated.
Okay.
I think hydration is a big key factor. So
Yeah.
definitely what I would not do is do not chug a lot of water right before you go ride, because you're probably gonna end up throwing up.
Yeah, right. Just that sloshy feeling, that full sloshy feeling, that's the worst. That is the worst. And then without salt in that water, when you have to urinate, it's probably just depleting salt and you're not getting
Yes.
that. You need to hold on to that, right? And that's what the
Yeah.
salt helps do as well.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's
Okay.
one thing that I tell my athletes a lot of times is I get up at 5 a.m. and I go train. I do my strength conditioning. And I actually make sure I have all my electrolytes the night before. What also does, at least you males out there, or actually we're both male and female, if you're having enough electrolytes at nighttime, we're not going to wake up and having to go urinate, once or twice throughout the night. So it actually helps retain more fluid, and again, it's going to enhance more recovery.
Dude, you're dropping gold nuggets, man. This is great. These are things that we can like easily just tweak a little bit before our rides. It's not like a huge ask, it's just a little bit. And if it brings mental clarity, hydration, and longer duration to our rides, a better performance, damn, why not?
Yeah. If there's a supplement out there that I would recommend.
Yeah.
Do you have cheat?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I'm actually underweight. Actually, I didn't even mention, but I am in fight camp right now. I'm actually getting ready to fight. I'm going to be fighting for a title fight February 24th. So I incorporate cheat meals. So I do have a family. I have one son. He's a year and a half old. And on Friday, it's like kind of like family day. And pretty much wait till my wife gets off of work. Friday is one of my only days off during the week. And so we usually go like in and out. But even then, when I'm having a cheat meal, a lot of people mess up and have a cheat day. And that's where you really mess up and have too many calories and you go over your surplus. So for me, I'm underweight. So I'm not really worried about weight, but I'm more worried about my performance and again, feeling that sluggish feeling. So I don't do too many fats. So I usually go to, like I said, in and out, and I don't do the cheese because of the fats. Try to keep it somewhat lean. So, and the cheese is my favorite part. So,
Especially in fight camp right now.
Yeah.
Especially in camp, but after camp.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do a 4x4.
Yes, that is awesome, man. And you were saying before I brought this up. Sorry, I brought that up right when you were going to talk about.
Yeah. So sorry, I just read the other.
Oh yeah, no.
What I would say is that if there's like 5 supplements for individuals to have day to day, one would be multivitamins, because again, most of us Americans, we have a fast paced life. We're working, we're on the go a lot, and sometimes we can't get every single micronutrient out there. So multivitamin would be really essential for getting all your essential vitamins, minerals. If you're getting a good multivitamin, there's a lot of not so good supplements out there. So it is important to do your research. And what I mean by that too is like dosages, sources, where is it coming from? Always important to look at the brands you get and make sure they're certified, they're third party tested. Really important. It's like when you go out to, buy your meat, I mean, are you just going to get regular meat? Or you're going to get like, USDA organic, pasture fed, something like, stuff like that.
So use the same mindset for picking out a good multivitamin.
There's actually studies out there that multivitamins do show actually can increase your life expectancy. So it just kind of helps like fill up the gap. Like, do you need every single vitamin? Probably not. You probably get a certain amount from food for sure, but it's not like it's going to hurt.
Right.
Unless you're doing like an absurd amount, which no one should be doing that.
That's going to be a whole
fish oil. Fish oil is really important. Making sure you're getting about, I would say at least 1,500 to 3,000 milligrams of omega-3 fatty acids day to day would actually help with life expectancy, cognitive function and health. It helps decrease like inflammation in the brain barrier for like Alzheimer's, dementia, things like that, or mental decline. And then making sure the DHEA and EPA dosage is high enough. Those are actually the really, really good, important fatty acids that we need to find.
And that's in the fish oil, Conan?
Yeah,
That you
yes, sir.
find it? Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
And then third would be vitamin D. Vitamin D is so important. It's good for your bone health. It's good for immune function. And on reality, you can get it from the sun, right? If like you're outside, you're riding, perfect, right? But most individuals out there who, let's say, work at 9 to 5, they're stuck indoors for the most part, right? Some people, obviously, construction workers, stuff like that, awesome. But most individuals work indoors nowadays, and they're not getting enough vitamin D, especially for us males. It does correlate with actually our testosterone production, so it's important to get some, especially in the morning. If you guys can get morning sunlight, definitely, get about 30 minutes of it. So
30
it can
minutes.
actually make a
Okay.
big difference.
What's tough for us is like when we jump out there on the mountain bike, we throw on sunblock. So we're
Yeah.
outside, but we're like shutting all the vitamin D away. So,
Yeah.
and it wouldn't hurt to pick up a vitamin D supplement. I mean, a lot of those now are tasty, dissolvable.
Yeah,
Pop
you
them
can just get
in.
capsules, tasteless.
Yeah.
They're small little
Yeah.
capsules.
Yeah.
That you want to make sure you're getting 5,000 IU's minimum.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else? I would say probiotics would be really, actually, gut health is really important, and it's probably not talked about enough. There's some
Okay.
podcasts out there, like I know, like the Joe Rogan podcast. They were talking about it with her name was Dr. Rhonda Patrick.
Yes.
About gut health and stuff like that. I mean, gut health supports, obviously, proper regulation. Or sorry, probiotics will help a lot with regulation of the gut health, keeping balance of good bacteria in our gut to actually help get rid of any bad bacteria in there.
That's good that you bring that up right now, because a lot of people have been catching that flu or cold or whatever. And I'm sure the docs, I don't know, but I'm sure that when you get a prescription for an antibiotic, it's wiping out the good and bad bacteria. The flora is like completely nuked. And
Yeah.
so getting a probiotic is great because that's basically helping ensure the good bacteria is going to flourish. And that's what we need, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, no, I'm actually really glad you brought that up. Yeah, because that's the thing, right? In today's society, it's the doctors want to give us all the antibiotics and drugs, and those are you're just putting a Band-Aid. You're not actually doing a good fix. So, people out there, I would definitely recommend eating more fermented foods. If you can have like cottage cheese, or we could have I don't know, pickles. You could have sauerkraut. You could have Greek yogurt. Those are all good sources of actual probiotics or good bacteria for the gut.
Nice. That's awesome. Does beer after a ride count? Is that still? No, is that fermented? not as much as I know a Greek yogurt would be better. We got oh, sorry, go ahead. This is great, man.
Yeah, I would say the last one, which is actually, well, it's a combination, but it's ZMA, zinc and magnesium. Those are probably one of the trace minerals that we as an American society actually really lack on. And that correlates with better sleep, getting different stages of sleep. That includes REM sleep as well. I think I would say that's actually probably really important. Sleep is anti-aging. And guys, if you're not getting at least a minimum of 7 hours of sleep, I recommend it. It's really important. It's something that we practice in our household. Thankfully, thank God, our son does sleep about a good 10, 12 hours right now. So he's sleeping well. And then my wife and I, we're trying to average about, on a good day, 8 hours. So.
That's good. That's really good. Yeah, sleep is huge, and it's easy to overlook, especially when we were talking about earlier how busy we are as Americans. It's easy to like get on the phone, stay up late, and then wake up in the morning when the alarm goes off and just bam, off to the races. Yeah. And I had read an article that talked about sleep deprivation being like a credit card. Like once you get in a deficit, it's kind of not like you're just in a deficit that day. It like adds up.
Yeah.
And you can catch up, but it's crazy. I mean, who would have thought?
Right. Yeah.
It's insane. So yeah, I'm glad you said sleep. That's huge. That's easy to do. The zinc and magnesium. Let's go back to the multivitamins. Now, I know there's companies like AG1. I take AG1 every morning. I throw a scoop into my shake and it tastes great and I feel good. Obviously, we're not sponsored by AG1 or anything like that, but they do tout a lot of the multivitamins and minerals and all that stuff. What are some of the things that you would recommend for multivitamins for us?
I would say not because we sell it at my store. I'm a big fan of this company. The company is called Myogenics.
Okay.
They are compliant, and they actually are a third party tested facility.
Okay.
But the multivitamin is called the MyoVite. It has all essential vitamins, trace minerals. It has antioxidants. It has turmeric extract that's called curcumin. It has MSM in there. It has bromelain. I mean, those are really good for your joints and actually helps rejuvenate more cartilage.
Speaking our language, bro, in the
Yeah.
mountain bike world.
I'm sure, yeah. Trust me, I feel that. There's the only thing that it doesn't have, which I mean, if it's a good multivitamin, it's not going to have it anyways, is the fish oil, right? That's something you're going to definitely want separate. But yeah, it has clinical doses of pretty much every single ingredient in there. It does have vitamin D3 in there. It should have 5,000 IUs, I believe. The cool part too is, especially you guys might like it, is it comes in packets. So if you're traveling, have a bag, you can just take the packets with you. One really important thing about most vitamins is they are fat soluble. So they're not going to be as bioavailable if you don't consume it with food. So it is important to have your multivitamins or vitamins with food.
Got it. So they're lipid loving. They love to be with fat. So versus water soluble. Gotcha. Okay. Versus hydrophilic. Cool. Okay. So in that again is called MyoVite. MyoVite. Okay, MyoVite. And can we get that just anywhere, like online? Obviously at Pure Nutrition we can get it, but is there a Pure Nutrition website that we can get it?
There is, yeah. And actually we're doing a relaunch starting Monday. So it's just purenutrition.shop. We'll have it on our website. We're pretty competitive when it comes to pricing as well, but you can find it anywhere. It's a good reputable brand. So
okay.
Again, the company's name is Myogenics.
purenutrition.shop. I'm going to put that in the chats for everybody that's on the live, and for the folks that are on Spotify and iTunes, you guys can look that up as well. And that again is on I just put it up there. Let's see, purenutrition.shop, and that's up right now. People can go there now if they'd like to.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And one of the things that I really love, and I know you don't know this, but I popped into Pure Nutrition a couple weeks ago. It was after leg day, and I was limping, crawling in. And then I saw your guys' post about the guy with the leg day. It was cracking me up because it's exactly right. Leg day is brutal. Shout out to my trainer, Jackie Hansen, by the way. She's an IFBB pro, which I thought was just like really hardworking, competitors in bikinis, but I now know that IFBB stands for bad bitches. Though that she is rough, man. She knows how to kick your butt. So I'm still walking funny. But anyhow, I digress. So we want third-party tests. And when I was in there, I purchased fish oil. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because the gentleman who helped me, I'm going to screw this up. Is it Jose?
Jose, yeah.
Jose, super nice guy. I had no idea that you and I had ever talked. And what was cool about him about the shop was that there was no push towards a specific brand. It was all about learning, and then me asking a question, and then real information coming at me so I can make an educated decision, which I thought was pretty freaking awesome. Which is really cool.
Yeah, that's our approach and our philosophy. What actually pushed us to actually want to open up a business, a nutrition store, right, or supplement store is we used to shop around. My partners and we used to always shop around. I was a big supplement person, so again, I'm more on the nutrition side. My business partner is actually study biochemistry, so we have a pretty well grasp of nutrition as a whole. And what happened was, again, I was a collegiate athlete. I used to go to all the different stores, and I felt like you walk to a dealership, they want to sell you everything that you don't want. They want to push you brands that at the time I didn't know, because I was, again, just learning about it. They're just selling you junk, man. Junk that real honestly probably wouldn't even make a difference on you. But we could be naive and fall for the trap of the marketing and stuff like that. So it's really important to make sure, we have the internet, might as well make some good research, or do the good research and, figure out what's going to be best for you. But going back to our company, that's our approach. We ask a lot of questions to really figure out what we need to do, or have a plan of action for the individual. So we like to break down your diet before we even talk about supplementation, because if we don't know what your diet and your day-to-day living is, then how can we make the best recommendation, right?
Yes.
I wish more supplement stores had that approach, but unfortunately, they have their quotas and, they hire whoever. Our staff, we actually train. We go through a whole process to make sure that we're making sure we're taking care of our people, 100%.
Yeah, I could feel that when I went in there. It was different. I mean, I've been to some supplement stores and you didn't get any education, and you kind of got guided somewhere. Other ones are cool too, but yours was definitely educational, and it felt like there was no push in any direction of any kind of like this company must be giving them a kickback because I'm getting pushed there. It was more like this is why this is important. It's like you said earlier, third party tested, all these great things. And so I walked out with zinc, fish oil. I walked out with glutamine, L-carnitine,
Nice.
and which tastes awesome, by the way. But I only can take 15 cc's before my workout because I don't want to take too much. But it tastes amazing, and all these things are great. And then creatine.
Yes.
And this was all for my new push for 24. I let my buddy Rob say, "Be more in 24." So I'm trying to take that up, and I'm feeling a difference. But I didn't realize that fish oil was such a big component. So when we talk about fish oil, you talked a little bit about why it's important to have it, and what it does for you. What are some of the brands that you'd recommend on fish oil?
Ironic enough, the company that I use is also from Myogenics. They have a really good one called MyOmega. They have two different types of fish oil. They have a basic one and the MyOmega. The MyOmega has a higher dose of the DHA and EPA, like I mentioned. But the really cool kicker is it has an ingredient called CoQ10. And CoQ10 is really good to actually open up our arteries, increase better blood flow. So that's going to actually help a lot with the brain barrier. It's going to be really good for our blood vessels in our heart, right? It's going to increase better blood flow.
Nice. I love it.
Is it
And
in
then,
the pill form or just liquid?
Yeah, so they're gel capsules.
Gel caps, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I know
yeah.
for a while I was just drinking like a shot of it in the morning.
Of fish oil?
Fish oil, yeah.
Damn,
you can
Joey.
get it with a little lemon in it, so it's not so bad, and then you kind of wean yourself off the lemon. It's not that bad just to do a shot in the morning.
Yeah, like some krill oil would be nice too if you get some krill oil.
Dang, boys, you guys are hardcore. I definitely like my capsule. And then vitamin D. We're talking about vitamin D. Obviously, we can get that in the sun, 30 minutes out there. But if we're popping a supplement, vitamin D, or something that just kind of like sublingual that melts in your mouth, what's a good brand that you would recommend there? It's been third party tested.
At least one that I'm pretty well versed with would be the NutriBio. NutriBio is actually a manufacturer. They make a lot of brand stuff. They are actually one of the few facilities that I know of that are not only GMP approved, which is third party tested, FDA approved as well. So you have just another certification on there. So you just know it's kosher, it's clean. They use vegetable capsules. It's as clean as it gets when it comes to all their ingredients. And I love it too because I actually do the vitamin D3 with K2. I like that one personally that they have because K2 is also really important when it comes to the rejuvenation of calcium. And I actually broke my finger last year and broke my hand the year before that at my fight. So, actually help a lot with the recovery process for sure.
Wow. Okay. That's cool, man. We'll have to. I'm glad. Thank you for bringing that one up. That vitamin D. That's cool. And that again is called
NutriBio.
NutriBio. Okay. And all of these things are going to be on the website. We can pick. Okay. And then zinc and magnesium. I did pick up some zinc. It comes in a cool capsule that I got there. And what would you recommend, or what have you seen the most from your athletes and from yourself that treats your body right?
What I would say is I definitely have a lot better sleep. I'll tell you this much. I have not been sick in quite a while. It helps a lot with your immune system. And on top of that too, I just feel like cognition wise, I don't know, like I know earlier you talked about like New Year's resolution. I don't really do New Year's resolution. I just say I have planned goals for the year and I do it quarterly. and I put myself in a timeline like, okay, this needs to be done by then, right? So my one thing was definitely doing a lot better with not just my supplementation, but my routine as a whole. So I do some meditation. I try to visualize the day, and I feel like I have a lot more mental clarity when I do, making sure my routine is consistent.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
so
When you
I
added
feel like the
the Z.
zinc, the magnesium,
Yeah.
that helps a lot with, like, again, the better sleep, immunity, and again, just mental clarity.
And then any specific brand on that one, or any specific name that you like?
I do the NutriBio.
Okay. Cool. That's
It's a trusted brand. They have a lot. They have such a large catalog of items. So I'm a
yeah.
big fan.
Okay.
And the
Yeah,
cool
that's
part is
good.
they're inexpensive. So you're not paying, when you're trying to, get 6, 7 different supplements, you're not paying, $300, $400. Everything's
Yeah.
about 25, $30.
That's
So
good. That's huge. Yeah, you're talking mountain bike lingo right there. Everything goes to the bike.
yeah, sure.
We're not addicted to this thing or nothing like that. Have a couple more questions here for you. Spokesman MTB out of Colorado is asking: is there a point to being properly hydrated, allowing nutrition to flow through the body more effectively, or using aspirin to thin blood? Is that an urban myth?
Well, it can, right? You could definitely do aspirin. It could lower blood pressure or thin your blood. Again, depends, right? The best way to really know where you're standing or where we stand at is I do it quarterly myself. I do get my blood work done to really see where we're at. See where your lipids are. But when it comes to, I guess, if you're looking for proper hydration, well, definitely, making sure you're getting a suffice amount of water. I know it's hard, but I would do about zero 0.8 to 1 fluid ounce per weight. That's the rule of thumb, which I honestly like. Sometimes I'll get 2 gallons in. That's because obviously I'm a lot bigger, and based on my performance. So that's also a big factor. So hydration, and then blood flow. I would say if you're looking for something more that's going to be effective for blood flow, the thing with aspirin is it does go through our liver. And again, like if you're not doing a full healthy, regimen, and you're doing aspirin just because you want to increase better blood flow, I think there's going to be other supplements that will definitely help out with that. So those are called vasodilators. People know as nitric oxide boosters. You could do beets. So if you could eat beets, the thing is you're going to have to eat a bunch of beets. So I would definitely supplement beet extract. About 750 to maybe like 1,500 milligrams would be a good range on that. Or one of my favorites that's really commonly used today is citrulline. Citrulline is actually the precursor from arginine, which helps a lot with dilating our blood vessels and increasing better blood flow. It's cheap, very effective, and you can either make your own concoction. So let's say like you have a sports drink that you like to drink, just buy the raw ingredient of citrulline. It's very cost effective. Do about 3,000, 4,000 milligrams before a ride, about 30 to 40 minutes prior. It definitely will help increase better blood flow overall in the body. One of my favorite ones will probably also be glycerol. Glycerol monostearate helps a lot with volumizing our cells as a whole. We talked about hydration. Well, that's going to actually specifically hydrate your muscles. So if you're looking for better blood flow, a good combination would be citrulline and glycerol monostearate.
Got it. Wow, damn, man, that's good to know. That's really cool. So there you go, spokesman. And then plus him, he's in Colorado, so he's up in altitude. So when he comes out here, he's just like, I got red blood cells for days. You know what I'm saying? MTV TNA is saying, so is pure nutrition strictly for athletes, or can it cover a variety of health and medical needs?
For the most part, yes. That's why we called it pure nutrition. It's not just for athletes; it's for everyone. We try to cater to every single individual and their needs, which is why we carry a large selection of different items to help cater to everyone. It's people would be amazed. And I mean, we're all human, so we all have the same type of structure, right? Depending on our performances, and sometimes some people have diseases, not diseases, but illnesses, disabilities, stuff like that. And so I've worked with girls who have like PCOS. I worked with individuals who had type 2 diabetes. We have large ranges of different types of clientele for sure. We try to cater as best we can through nutrition with our diets, and again, potentially supplements. That's one big thing is sometimes first time customers, sometimes don't leave with a supplement, but they will leave with a full sheet of homework for them to actually work on before even considering supplements. Because again, I don't want anyone to ever, I want to say waste their money, but you know, improperly invest in their health if they can't have a full blueprint of what they need to do beforehand.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, it's hard to know what you need if we don't know what the macros are, right? So then you
Mhm.
can't see what's deficient on that person. So I love that you guys do that. That's very, very cool. Very, very cool. Yeah, I walked in. I knew I was in trouble. I was like, "What's a macro?" Oh boy. um, MTBTNA is also asking, do you need to take vitamin A and K with vitamin D? As I have read, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I mean, it's going to be found in most of the like multivitamins. It's going to help with the actual bioavailability and absorption as a whole. But you can also avoid having to stack those along if you do it with like black pepper extract, or they have a patent called bioprenning, and that actually helps with the bioavailability of the actual ingredient itself. But I would say if you can, either one, finding in a multivitamin, or two, you can stack them together if desired.
Wow. Okay. Very cool. And then this one's a good one, coming here from our very own Uncaged MTB, because there are sports drinks out there like crazy. Some are packed with sugar, but marketed so pretty. And some of them
Yes.
are packed for performance, but maybe not marketed well at all. So,
Mm.
what are your thoughts on the healthiest sports drinks? What
Hmm.
would you recommend?
That's a really good question. I'm sure there's so many good ones out there, and sometimes a lot of formulas. I wouldn't like to say like, I mean, without sounding negative, the cookie cutter, right? Like you
Mhm.
have your Gatorades or you have your Primes, and those are heavily marketed with multi-million-dollar marketing campaigns and stuff like that, right?
Mhm.
But I'm sure there's a lot of good brands out there. Um, I would just say look at the sodium content, and again, you're on a ride, you're going sugar. It's going to go in your system. It's going to be out of your system pretty fast.
Yeah, you're not storing
Wouldn't
that
go
stuff.
above and beyond on that. Like look at it too heavily. Just look at the dosage more of anything. Getting
Okay.
enough electrolytes, enough sodium, and again, if you're getting 30, 40 grams of sugar, you'll be fine. If you're
Okay.
it's for performance space,
Got it. So
on a
on
day
the
to day,
ride.
it's just
Yeah.
you're trying to enjoy a Gatorade, probably don't, you know. But yeah, if it's for going on a ride or doing a sport activity, you should be fine.
Sodium. And what's the number of the sodium that we're looking for? Like
I would
what's a good
say
number?
above 800 would be nice, in my opinion.
Milligrams? Okay.
Yeah, 800 milligrams.
Okay.
Um, that, um, yeah, I'd say about like 800. Making sure it has like calcium, magnesium, calcium K, something in there that's more of a trace mineral. I know potassium would be important. I'd probably say something higher than like like 400, 500 milligrams of potassium or higher would be nice, which
Okay.
is probably found in some sport drinks. But if anything, if you have like a powder, um, I will look at those more heavily. There is something out there like I personally take it myself. It's called Intrablast. It does happen to be also from NutriBio. Excuse
Hmm.
me. Um, that has calcium K, magnesium, has taurine, which taurine is also really important to actually hydrate our muscles specifically. It also has coconut water extract. Big
Ooh.
fan of coconut water as a
Yeah.
whole. But coconut water, actually, if you guys like coconut water, actually be pretty nice to have a fresh coconut if you have one in an ice chest or something like that.
Yeah. Man, we did this ride in Sedona and it was in November, but it felt like it was in July. It was hot. And we had like our water bottles were probably maybe 8 ounces of water, and we
Um,
ran out, and we were still at least 8 miles with a big climb to get out this trail and back to the cars. And when we finally made it, we were so depleted. We ran. Well, we didn't run. We basically ghost rode our bikes to the Circle K, the closest Circle K. Like we jumped off the bikes, and the bikes were just coasting by themselves. Hit the wall, fell down, and everybody ran inside. And some people went. It was so funny. Some people went to the slushy machine. That was me included. Some people went to Gatorade. Joey over here went to Body Armor. It was called
yeah.
Body Armor, and it was packed full with coconut water,
Hmm.
and it had some sugars in there. And I believe it had. Oh, he's pulling it up right there. There's the macros. What does it say there, Joey?
Oh.
I can't read it. my eyes. It's saying here. Here we go.
It's again, I just never know. Like, am I being fooled, or is it actually?
Well, no, actually, I just saw right there. It has 700 milligrams of potassium alone, which is good. Like I mentioned, you want to go be at least above 300, right?
Yeah.
Right.
That's actually good. No, I've had Body Armor myself. I'm actually a big fan. Flavor is awesome. Yeah, it has actually a good amount of electrolytes. I definitely would say and back Body Armor before Gatorade. If anything, probably going back to Uncaged MTB, I definitely would say Body Armor probably would be more of a mainstream superior brand to go with. To be honest,
look at that. It's got zinc. It's got magnesium. Got niacin. There's the potassium.
Sugar. Not fructose high corn syrup, which is a lot of them.
True. There you go. So not processed sugar, right? Full on pure cane sugar. Total sodium. There you go. 40 milligrams of sodium. Is that adequate?
40 grams. Is it 40 grams?
40 milligrams. It says
40 milligrams. Yeah. No, actually, that's good.
Okay.
Because you're getting most of it from the trace minerals, which is actually better.
Got it. So that would work out good. Okay. That's cool.
Now sponsored by Body Armor.
No, that's good. So with everything that we talked about, and with us being mountain bikers, it's like I know for sure I have to go back and listen to this again just so that I catch things. But it almost sounds like if there's like one of the biggest things that we can glean from this show is proper hydration, is what it sounds like.
Yeah, I would say proper hydration, timing out your meals if possible, making sure we're getting enough calories in. Because again, if you guys going on those rides, you said it, you're burning at least 1,000 calories. That's a lot. That's a lot of calories to expand. So got to make sure you're taking care of your insides, because you might be doing these performances and riding and looking great on the outside, but if you're dehydrating yourself, your kidneys are not going to appreciate that. You're not eating enough. Your liver enzymes, you're not going to be as happy. So, and your gut flora too. Making sure you're getting enough good food in there, taking care of that system.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, the gut flora is a biggie. So probiotics will help kind of stabilize that. I know some folks have been having there's colds, there's flus, COVID is out there right now. You take an antibiotic, your gut flora gets all crazy. So to take the probiotics would kind of help mellow all that stuff out and get that back into homeostasis, baby. That's what we need. Joey, did you have something?
Yeah, Lauren's freaking me out.
Lauren, important not to overdo potassium though. Heart go pop.
True. Yeah, if you're doing too much potassium, yes. But again, with the extreme exercise that we're doing, I'm sure we're depleting a lot of those electrolytes. Now, if you're, a couch potato, maybe very sedentary, yes, maybe try not to do so much potassium for sure.
Gotcha. MTB Tina says Body Armor has erythritol, sugar, alcohol. Thoughts? Ooh.
Yeah, actually, so there's a doctor out there. His name is BioLane on Instagram. I actually just recently saw his studies that he was talking about. Erythritol, sugar, alcohols. Honestly, it's still in studies a lot, but there are studies. There isn't really any adverse side effects from doing artificial sweeteners as a whole. If you can avoid it, yes, but the only thing that's been found was doing too much, and I'm saying an absurd amount of it, can disrupt the gut flora, the microbiome. But outside of that, sugar, alcohols, there's actually no study that really shows that has adverse side effects or is damaging to the body.
Okay.
So, I guess to answer the question, it should be fine. Again, it's not something you're drinking all day long, right? It's more for the recovery process and just making sure you're hydrated. If it's being dehydrated or having a Body Armor, I take the Body Armor.
Gotcha. Okay. And then basically, Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say I might have overdosed that day in Sedona on body armor though.
That's okay. I think
we 24 pack.
I think I
Yeah.
drank 32 before I even paid for it, and then drank another 32 walking out the door.
That's okay because we were in a deficit. We were in a big deficit for
It
sure.
was not in the hospital, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a couple more questions for you if you have time, Conan. I know the family's waiting for you and stuff, but
You're good.
this is awesome, man. Is there a formula for knowing that you're well hydrated? And my simple third grade brain looks at my urine, I go, it's light in color, I'm good. Or damn, it's dark. Or hey, after leg day, it was like really dark for one of them that was not quite Coca-Cola, but I was pretty close to Rhabdo, I'm pretty sure. And I drank a ton of water. But how do we know? Is there a simple way to check that other than that third grade brain of mine going light urine good, dark urine bad?
Yeah, so I mean, if you get pH strips, yeah, like I mean that's very tedious. But I think going based on how we're feeling, right? I mean, do we have a lot of cotton now? Do we feel like we're dehydrated? Do you feel
chapped lips?
Yeah, chapped lips or maybe foggy minded could be a notation that we might need to hydrate properly. Looking at your urine is important. I look at my urine all the time. I would say like the clear, not super clear doesn't matter, but I mean, as long as it's not brown and dark, but again, it also varies because sometimes if you have vitamins, your urine does look, like a
from
highlighter.
The 80s. Yeah, it's for the 80s. It's like fluorescent yellow.
So I mean, just being cognizant of like what you've consumed, right, is important to dictate that too. But I would say overall, just dark urine is a no-no. And also, like if it's foamy urine, those are our electrolytes, which is not necessarily a bad thing, necessarily, right? As long as you know that you're either supplementing or getting enough electrolytes through your food or supplementation. So overall, it is a feel thing, and I mean, again, if you're being tedious about it, you could get some strips and test your pH levels.
Okay, that's cool, man. That's really good to know. And then as far as like a formula, you were saying something. You are a heavyweight, so your formula showed up at like 2 gallons of water a day. What's the formula for that? Just so we can pop out a couple numbers for some folks.
It was about 0.8 to 1 fluid ounce per body weight.
0.8 to 1 fluid ounce. Okay. So 1 fluid ounce is 30 cc's. I'm getting nerdy here. 1 fluid ounce is 30 cc's. And then, so like if I'm 165 pounds, so how many would that be? 1 fluid ounce. How many fluid? Okay. That'd be 100 and
let's say if it's 1 fluid ounce, right? So it'd be 165 ounces.
165 ounces times 0.8? No, times 30 mLs. No, I'm doing that wrong. Joey's laughing at me right now.
So if it's 1, let's say it's 1, right? Then you're going to do 165 fluid ounces.
165. Okay, got it. And then how many fluid ounces are in a gallon? I forget this already. Does anybody remember out there? I don't remember. Siri does. How many fluid ounces are in a gallon?
It's about
120.
0.0781. So
okay. So I need about a gallon of water.
Yeah, 1.2.
1.2. Okay. So if you're 165 pounds, that's about 1.2 gallons of water based on this formula. If you are, let's see, if you're lighter on the lighter side, say some of our smaller riders are, not my goodness, I weighed 165 in 3rd grade. Good for you.
Same.
Well, damn, Johnny is tall. He's super tall. He's Hollywood tall. He's like 6.
Hollywood
tall. He's tall like you, Conan. He's tall. He's a big dude too.
Yeah, and again, that's dictating based on your activity levels as well. So that's why I have a lot more.
Okay.
But again, like let's say you're recreational, maybe 3 times a week, 4 times a week, I'd probably stick to more like the 0.8 times your body weight.
Okay, 0.8 times your body weight. Okay, so if you're 100 pounds, that'd be 80. So that's 0.8, right?
Yeah, like about 3/4 of a gallon.
So 3/4 of a gallon. Okay, that kind of gives me a little bit of an idea. So that would be how many ounces? Okay, I need like 16 glasses of water a day, something like that.
Yeah, just about.
Right around there. Okay. That's good for me to know, just for my brain to like focus in, because I'm definitely not doing that. I'm
said in the
I'm way
beginning,
short.
most people don't, it's
Wow.
water sometimes just doesn't have that flavor. So that's why electrolytes and flavored electrolytes is awesome, because if you just toss in that powder in a gallon, I guarantee first couple hours of the day, you're going to be halfway through.
Yeah, it's going to taste good. You're going to drink it. We're going to be hydrated. I love that. And then because you're the founder of Pure Nutrition, you have a business partner there. We are able to give away tonight, for the folks that are live watching this live, we're going to give away some electrolytes, or give away an electrolyte. Or what do you actually, you tell me, Conan, what should we give away?
Because it's something that I'm a big fan of. It's probably one of our best sellers. It's overall. I wanted to give away the Intrablast, the product I was speaking about, that has all the electrolytes at actual heavy doses, and also it has a full spectrum of amino acids in there. So it has what's called BCAA and EAAs. So BCAAs are branch chain amino acids, and then EAAs are essential amino acids. One we get from our food, ones we typically don't. But those together build a full protein storage to allow better recovery. On top of that, it's also going to have a full dose of what you picked up the other day, I guess, is glutamine. It has fermented glutamine in there. Glutamine is known to actually release lactic acid buildup, but it's also good for the gut lining. So overall, glutamine alone is going to help a lot, especially for individuals who are out there riding, because I'm sure you guys are probably pretty sore, probably your forearms, your core, probably even your glutes, and probably, obviously your thighs, right, and your calves. Pretty much full body, right? So that's going to help a lot with getting rid of lactic acid.
Lauren is a mess. She needs it. So, well, no, this is great. And that's all within this electrolyte that you're going to give away tonight. This is cool. And I know I see Joey over there. He's probably doing this. We have this circle, this wheel. I don't know if you want to do the wheel, Joey, but I can.
Yeah, I don't think we have enough time to put all the names in.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah,
we'll just pick one.
Yeah, just pick one.
Okay, we're gonna pick one.
Just pull down real fast on the questions, and wherever the marker stops, that's it.
Okay, we're gonna do that. Actually, let's do this. Let's go for the folks that are on. Let's do this. We see people are putting comments in. I love all your comments, you guys. This is awesome. And by the way, we are everywhere from Miami to Arizona to Colorado to Northern and Southern California tonight in the house, which is really cool. So this is all going to be national. Pop in there. If you guys can pop in the website, and the first person, let's do this. The first person who's watching tonight, they can go on the website, which was, what was the website again, Conan?
Our website?
For your website.
Purenutrition.shop.
Purenutrition.shop.
It's right on the shirt.
Yeah, for the first person that goes to purenutrition.shop and tells me, or tells us, puts it in the comment how much this cost, and the product that you're giving away is called the
Intrablast.
The first person to pop up the price of Intrablast is going to be the winner, and we will get this out to you. And again, remind us again, Conan, what's in the Intrablast? What will they be doing, and when should they take this?
Okay, yeah. So the what you're going to be getting from the product itself is a full spectrum of amino acids that have BCAAs and EAs. It's going to be for recovery and stimulating muscle growth or preserving muscle. It's also going to help with the recovery process of soreness, going to get rid of lactic acid buildup. And then it has clinical doses of different types of electrolytes in there to actually help replenish or hydrate the body. Now, taking it, there's no technically right or wrong. As I mentioned, one of the supplements I do take is the Intrablast at night because of, again, I wake up early in the morning and I want to make sure I'm properly hydrated. So I take that regularly about an hour before bed.
Got it. Okay.
But you could take it during your training session. You could take it post. Technically, you could do both, take it at night and take it right after your training or in between.
Scoop in the water bottle on the way out?
Yeah.
On the bike?
You're probably going to mix it about roughly 16 to 18 fluid ounces or about a liter of water.
Okay, I gotcha. All right, here we go. We got it. I think right here. For the winner of this, is it $19.99?
No.
That's not it. Okay. That was close. Trail Pimp, that was close. That was close. Go up to purenutrition.shop, purenutrition.shop, and let us know the price of this giveaway. And then this is cool. I got what's up, Three Brothers Extreme. Great to see you guys. It's awesome to see these guys out here. This is a dad. It's Drew and his kiddos are rippers, and they're younger kids, which is bright for our future. It says, we love electrolytes and BCAs. Now, is there any kind of negative to kids taking BCAs or electrolytes, or is there a positive, and which one and why?
Well, like I actually have niece and nephews. They're about between 12 and 15. And they actually supplement amino acids. Amino acids are found in our food. So all in all, I mean, I personally, I try to have families obviously take it more through their food. But if you're supplementing it, I mean, technically there's I wouldn't say there's like a negative side effect from it whatsoever. Probably if anything, maybe do like half the doses just to be on the safe side. But again, this is not me as a professional giving advice for it.
Yeah.
I would always, speak to a healthcare professional and just make sure that's safe for them. But I would say they're pretty safe.
So, okay, gotcha.
And there's definitely benefits from it for sure.
For the kiddos, that's cool, man. That's really cool. Mountain Bike Q&A is saying, is it $34.95? Are we? Oh, so close. Three Brothers Extreme also said $19.99. Let me do this. Let me put. What's the name of the product again? I'm going to put it on the screen so people can see.
It's Intrablast.
Intrablast. INTRA.
INTRA. Yep. Blast.
Intrablast. And you go to purenutrition.shop and let us know the price. And the first person to let us know the price of Intrablast, Trail Pimp, is coming to us with $25.99.
No.
Oh, Double R is in here. He's saying 39. What's up, Double R? What's up, bro? He's saying $39.95. Oh.
Let me check my system.
He's gonna check the system. We could have a winner, folks. He hasn't labeled it yet, so if you're on the search, keep looking. Our numbers just went up. I think people really wanted this giveaway.
Let's see.
Intrablast. purenutrition.shop. As Conan's looking that up, man, this has been a ton of great information that to learn tonight. MTBTNA is saying not coming up on search on the website. She can't find it. Ooh.
Oh, I'm actually on the website right now.
Is she fishing for us to find it for her?
I have it on here. I mean, do I put out the price?
Well, no, not yet. But we may have to go to a closest if we got Mountain Bike Q&A saying I can't find it on their search. He can't find it either.
I like Trail Pimp's just thrown in.
He got it.
Trail Pimp got it. $44.99. Wow, that's a good giveaway. Thank you so much, Conan.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so Trail Pimp, we will send this out to you.
Congrats, man.
Congrats. And then MTBT, and he's still trying. 1919.
It was like the old Price is Right. They should have just
going
up.
Right. Yeah. Bum bum ba da.
$29.99, $30, $30, $25, $30.
That is awesome. What a wealth of information, man, that you provided us tonight, and tons of stuff to glean. I mean, nutrition, sleep, hydration. There's so much, and recovery. There's so much that I got to go back and listen to this again. But this will be huge because people will start the year off. They already have, including me. And there's just a refresh, like whether it's new goals or new whatever, or just, hey, what's the hurt in trying to make yourself a little bit better through nutrition and sleep? If you take too much, well, your body probably regulates and you might pee some of it out. But most of us are in a deficit. And we need
most of us are.
Yeah, I can't even drink enough water in the day. And that's FREE. Oh, man. Conan, tell us again about your fight coming up. Where can people watch if they catch this episode before you actually get out on the fight? Where can they watch you do this?
So I'm still getting details of it. I just found out yesterday that this is going to be a title fight. I've just been back and forth with my agent.
Damn,
so
baby.
It was supposed to be a 3-minute rounds. It's going to be 5-minute rounds now.
Oh yeah,
so
title
we're gonna
fight,
pick
baby.
up the output for sure.
Woo.
But I believe it's going to be on pay-per-view. It will be streamed live. I will get more details if I can maybe shoot it your way, or if not, if people want to follow me on Instagram, I will be posting more information on that.
Got it. Trailpin wants to see Jake Paul versus Conan.
Hey, give me the money, man.
That's a big fight. It's a big money fight.
That's an easy day for me.
I don't know what's the tape on Jake Paul? I don't even know that. He's a bigger dude than just for a YouTuber guy.
Yeah, I don't want to talk bad. I respect the fact that he's eligible to use his marketing for the better, in the sense of for fighters, right? He's able to, some fighters just, to be honest with you, the MMA world doesn't get that much money compared to boxing. And it's, you're considered professional, but these boxers, even on the low end, still making a couple $1 million versus like, let's say in the UFC. I think that I looked it up recently. The average UFC fighter makes about 70, 80 a year. But again, that's if they're healthy enough to get more than 2 fights a year. Right. So I have to give respect to him on that end. Like I mentioned earlier, I am a true martial artist. I like to have respect. I don't like to disrespect anyone, even though I know it makes sense for marketing. But again, you leave the fake stuff for WWF. You don't, when it comes to martial arts and fighting, I think you gotta have some respect out there, But overall, I would say he's above average, but I wouldn't consider him as a talented boxer.
Gotcha. Yeah, he definitely brings the eyeballs for sure through his marketing whizzes that he does. Mm-hmm. And for you on your fight coming up, I wish you the best of luck, man. I can't wait. When you get the details, please send it my way so we can send it out to all of our folks out here at the Segment Podcast, and hopefully we can see you fight. Maybe it used to be we would go to the Tilted Kilt and watch all the pay-per-view there. So hopefully that's it. And then let me just go back for the folks who haven't seen this. I gotta show this, Conan, real quick. This is bananas. It is right here. And I don't think this is the Tilted Kilt. Where is it? It's gonna be right here. I think this is it right here. Where? No. That's not it. Let me get to it. Sorry, folks. I know we're ending the show, but I want to show you this is ludicrous on how crazy this place goes. Where is it? Dang it. I know it's here somewhere. It's the one where the bar goes nuts when you get that elbow in there and you shoot him with that knee.
Honestly, I can't recall which video that is myself.
Yeah, it's bananas. And I know it's here somewhere. I want to say it's not this one. It's not this one. Guys, I will show it to you. It's here and it's crazy. Which one is it? I just was watching it. I can't believe it.
See it. Yeah, I didn't see it on there.
Here it is. Check this out. Check this out. Look at this. All right. You get out. Bam, there's that knee. Look at the crowd. Look at this. This is insane. Doesn't it look like a DJ party? Look at it. Look at all the people. This is sick. This is insane. I love it. Look at the bartender. It's so crazy. This is awesome. That's what's going to happen coming up, man. And looking forward to seeing that, Conan. Thank you so much for jumping on the podcast with us and teaching us some stuff about nutrition to make us better. I really appreciate it. Miami's out there saying, Conan, great chat. I
appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for having me on here. And thank you for all the viewers. And thank you for the support. And I hope to, change some lives myself, man. I know we're at the tail end of the show, but just sending out a message to everyone. Just, mental toughness is a real thing for most people out there. So just stay focused. Try to invest in your. The best investment is yourself. Invest in your health and that everything else will come along with that. So thank you guys so much, guys.
I love it. Well said. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Conan Ayala, you are the man, bro.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys.
Look on the fight. I can't wait to see it.
Yes, sir. I can't wait.